Hello and welcome to the morning meeting, building Jomboy Media. It's 8:49 a.m. on this fine Wednesday morning, and we've got some tunes for you as you drive to work. All right.
A famous man.
Okay, welcome back to the show. My name's Jimmy. His name is Matty. Your mic is fucked up.
Yeah, look at
it. We should start running cameras and find the jerk face that does that to the mics and out them publicly.
That was a crazy setup.
Someone enjoys that. Well, Jake's is like that in there anyway. I'm glad I don't have to fight with that mic anymore. Joe's messes with my mic, and to the point where I said enough. I'm out on this joke.
Right.
Because it annoys me so bad. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you for leaving a comment on the last episode. We'll be getting to a lot of those this episode. We'll be talking a lot about the company, some behind the scenes stuff. We had a board meeting last night to end the year, maybe start the plan for the new year. We got a Bino stream coming up. We got warehouse filming the end of this week. We had some stat meetings recently about things you missed and some YouTube perks that are coming our way with thumbnail testing. So there's a decent amount of behind the scenes chatter if that's what you tune in for. How are you doing?
I'm good. Nice little commute in.
You ever call yourself Eminem?
No.
Even though you have the M and M initials?
My middle name is a G, so MGM Studios was the go-to before.
Wow. Who called you that? You?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for today's ep. Like you said, there's a lot of good questions that came in last week. I set up 2 different games if you wanted to play those at the end.
Games?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw these 2 things recently.
Okay.
Games that I think could apply to you or this show, and we might do those. So stay tuned till the end if you want to see probably at least one of the 2 games.
If anyone's wondering what kind of coffee I'm drinking, I dropped my coffee all over the floor, and then I just refilled the cup with water. So this is water with a hint of coffee in it.
Yeah, right before we came in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to start us off,
Bummer.
Kyle posted this from Talkin Yanks yesterday, but I wanted to give it a shout out to Brit W1407 who commented on the last ep, just being a massive Talkin Yanks listener on Spotify, top 0.5%, despite not being a Yankees fan, just because they go to sleep listening to it. And they chose to go to sleep listening to it because they didn't want to miss any Talkin baseball. So
there's a funny line at the end of the review where they're like, I fall asleep to you guys saying, where are all the lefties?
Yeah, that's funny.
Which is true. So thank you to Britt. That was her name? His name?
It's Brit W. So I was going with Brit, and it's a female, but I don't know that for sure.
Britt Williams, you think, maybe?
Yeah, maybe more like Williamson.
Okay. Maybe his name is Will Bright.
Yeah, very possible.
Okay.
Can we start off by talking about the Mahomes breakdown going a little crazy? What is the current YouTube metrics? Do you know the other
No, I don't
platforms?
know. I don't know, but it did go crazy. It's on YouTube. It's at 928,000 views, and I don't know anywhere else.
Less than 2 days?
Yeah. It's 928,496. Sorry, I spoke out of turn. Views in the first 1 day and 22 hours.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Really cool. Because the LeBron one did really good, and when we were excited about that, this one kind of blew the LeBron one out of the water. Yeah. It is football and Mahomes, so that makes sense. But that is crazy. I think it's doing well on the other platforms. I haven't checked in. I can check in.
Do you think that just being so topical, I mean, it came out Monday at 11 a.m.?
Well, I got it out like 12 hours after it happened.
Yeah.
Because I woke up I got to the office at 4:45, started working on it, and then we posted it when it came out. So I think that helps because even on the West Coast, people are waking up, getting their Monday recap on the whatever, you know.
Yep.
No results for Jomboy Media on TikTok? Really? Oh, I had to do the puzzle piece to verify. So the Mahomes on TikTok is 423,000 views.
Okay, so we're on like 1.3.
Because I think the LeBron one did really good on other platforms, right?
Yeah, LeBron might have it beat overall.
Which is nuts. Jomboy Media Instagram Reels. That's where they tell you how many views they have. Sorry, last time I had this for LeBron stuff because I was like really interested in it.
Yeah,
I've been too busy. I can do Instagram and then we can get off this. Instagram only 320K on the main thing and then 136 on the short.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going crazy.
Yeah.
But it got claimed by the NFL, so no money. Made 1 cent.
On YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, 1 cent. So that's cool. We
That
got
was-
that 1 penny in there before they got it.
That was my question for you next was, yes, it got claimed by the NFL. What is your thought process there? Like, just
Bummer.
stink, but it's okay.
I tried to do a lot of stuff that, helps you out in the fair use argument, which we stand by. I think I fully transcend these and turn them into my own story and rearrange the order, zoom in, zoom out. I'm critiquing stuff, which is like the basis of fair use if you critique stuff. And I thought I did enough to go around their auto detection, but I did not. So whatever. It's sponsored by DraftKings.
Right.
DraftKings got the last 2. They got the LeBron one and that one. So
Damn.
yeah.
That's
And behind the scenes, we owed DraftKings one Sunday night, but there was nothing really going on. So I was going to have to find a small story and put it out Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
There was like this incident in a minor league hockey where a fan threw a chicken nugget on the ice and then the hockey player shot it back at the crowd. And just the title, hockey player gets penalty for hockey player shoots chicken nugget at the crowd. I think you'd be intrigued to be like, what?
Yeah.
So I was going to do that. And then I was kind of busy. It was Sunday night, and we just asked the sales team, like, hey, can we move it to Monday and not do Sunday? Because, I'm swamped, blah, blah, blah. And they said yes. And then after they said that, this happened on Sunday Night Football. So I was happy that they were nice and said, yeah, we can move it to Monday. And then they got rewarded for their kindness.
Yeah, my honest guess is they 9x their YouTube views in 2 days. Like hockey chicken nugget, I'm guessing lands at 150K total.
On YouTube, not
YouTube, yes.
Total.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a crazy one. I'm trying to do Tommy Cutlets right now. That's what I've been working on all morning because it's just such a fun story. And the dad made me really emotional when he was screaming, yes, yes. So I'm trying to get that out today, but I have a crazy busy day today of really fun stuff. Wednesdays are our fun stuff, so it is all fun filming today. But I'm trying to find time to get this out, and I don't know if I'm going to find it.
Are we geoguessing?
We have a
possibility.
4-hour window of watching and playing, I think.
No, it's not 4, I don't think. That's really long.
I thought it was.
No, I think it's 2.
No, I pushed back because I said we need to do way more than 2 hours. 2 hours just gets us 2 videos.
Would love it.
I have it on my calendar 11 to 2.
Yep. So
That's
3 hours.
Split the difference.
Cool. Agree.
Morning, Talkin Yanks after this, and then Bino live stream at 3.
After watching playing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Oh, I was going to bring my pen.
Why you need a pen?
To get high during watching playing
Oh.
Bino. I forgot.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about just a pen.
No.
It's like, okay, why do you need a pen?
No, damn.
Well, there's other options.
Yeah, we have gummies. Cushy Dreams. Cushy Dreams sponsors all the watching playing. So, yeah, they just last a little longer.
That's funny. That didn't cross my mind as a possibility. I 100% thought you were sad that you didn't bring a physical writing pen into this room.
I was like, that's
can
a
survive.
lot. That's a long slate of like silly content.
Yeah.
I'd like to, take the edge off But I'll have to do gummies now, so I'm still fine.
All good. Before we get to quickly discussing the board meeting and how that went yesterday, I just wanted to wrap up the rest of the main channel talk with the things you missed. I think you had an interesting meeting yesterday about things that you missed.
Yeah. I wonder
How did that go?
I wonder if Lucas shared his report in Slack, his like Canva on it, because I could share some info if you want. So it was the whole crew that works on things you missed. Me, Dalton, Ryan, Rob, Kyle came in for a second, and it was basically kind of like Lucas, who's data analyst, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Slack him right now. Can you share the TYM Canva from yesterday? He put together a sheet of all the stats of like, what sports have the best return views wise, what sports when they're the first segment of the show is the best, what sports have done the worst, and then a lot of like titling info, which is good, which came back, the returns on the title came back the same as when we ran them for sports breakdowns like a year ago, which was if you have a recognizable name in the video, you need to put it in the title.
Makes sense.
Or if it's a country or a team name. Team name wasn't as much, but it was player name or country. Like if we ever cover Team USA, it doesn't really matter the sport. The algorithm likes that. And same with some leagues and team names worked. It was, a little bit of specifics. And I don't think it's for the humans looking at titles and reading. I think it's for the algorithm now knows I know where to put this because you gave me some info on what it's about. Yeah. So, Steve Smith, cricket, I know where to send this. Or LeBron James is too obvious of an answer. Patrick Mahomes is an easy one. Those went really big. But even some lesser videos where we had names of players in do better. And I do think it's like because you're giving the algorithm more to work with.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. It was interesting. I wish I had some of the numbers on there. Have you seen any of these?
No. That's why I was curious too. But we could also jump topic until Lucas gets back to you. Maybe we'll go to some questions.
Sure.
All right. So, one thing that I wanted to say before we get to the questions, Laughs from the Past is now back on Spotify.
Yay!
I know people commented.
All the time. I get questions all the time. Why is it not on Spotify? And I was like, Spotify. I don't really know. So we just fixed it, or?
Yep. Lucas was able to help me fix it. We had to create a Spotify for Podcasters account for that specific show. It was a little bit of like a why did it not appear before situation, but it is there right here. And
can you send me that link? I want to tweet that out.
Sure.
Or put it on my like Insta story. Because people do ask me all the time, like, hey, why? Because it's a show that people listen to the backlog.
Right. Me included.
Yeah.
I had to go listen on Apple before. All right. I texted you the link. But yeah, that's exciting stuff. I wanted to get into some questions.
I have the Slack, though, if you want that now. I have the sheet.
Yeah, we can go back there.
So the main thing is our views chart. I can turn this. It looks like this, which is how kind of a lot of the company looks because that's the baseball season. Besides January being high.
October's the lowest.
Yeah, October's not a good month for us. On Talkin Baseball it is because we go every single day. On other shows, it's not because once your team's out of the playoffs, you don't care anymore. So you lose a bunch of fans in October, which like I was like that. Like, once the Yankees were done, I was like, I'm done with baseball.
Yeah, makes sense. I think I just had maybe Talkin Baseball thoughts and Talkin Yanks when they're in it. Those
go up, but the main channel always goes down in October, and so does a lot of our other stuff. And then merch will go back up a little bit. But yeah, Q1 and Q4 are not good for us. So... But that's like, we're trying to correct that. So I said, hey, this looks like a lot of the company looks, but this is also something that like everyone needs to try to fix and beat. So let's figure it out. Some of the interesting stuff was there's been 9 things you missed episodes with soccer. as one of the sports, and that they have averaged 145,000 views, 38% above average.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was interesting. Now, there's so many elements to this because, like, what was the thumbnail? What was the headline? What was the main sport? I think those play more than just this sport because it could have been a small soccer clip deeper in the episode, and the rest of the episode was just good. So, I don't know. Baseball's high. Frisbee sports is really high. Lacrosse is high. And then, but it is really interesting because, like, field hockey, we've done that 3 times, and it's really low. But the field hockey season is October and November, so it is like that just happens in our downtime. But then we should probably try to beat it. I don't know. Of the ones we've done 5 or more times, hockey's the worst, which adds up. I mean, hockey breakdowns were like our worst return to when we did it by sport. Racket sports also down.
Okay.
Volleyball down. But I was like, this is good. It's interesting. Like, I want to put soccer to the test more now to see if, like, oh, does that really bump it? But I told them what will change on this information is how we title it, how we thumbnail it, and what we make the first topic.
Yeah.
But the rest of the show should just be whatever we find interesting and we want to share with our audience. And, like, we shouldn't have anything else in mind. Yeah. But, and same with the first topic. It should be something we find interesting and we want to share, but we'll just be more careful about, let's put a first topic is we know, like, the audience engages with. And then the rest, I'll do motor, cycle, soccer, or sumo, or whatever. It's just whatever we find interesting.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
We're going to test out doing some longer episodes. They're always around under 8 minutes. But the impressions, we did 2 that were over 8 minutes. And they YouTube put them in the algorithm way more, which makes sense. YouTube doesn't put shows in their algorithm if they're under 8 minutes for, like, longer than 2 weeks. Like, even the Mahomes one, that will die soon, and YouTube will not promote it. Because there's no ad breaks in the middle. So the longer your video is, the more ads YouTube can put in it, and then they're going to promote those longer than something that doesn't have a mid-roll.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So we're going to try and test that soon. I think this one that I'm editing today. Let's see. Title analysis. When the athlete's name is in the title, 3% more impressions than average, 24% more views than average. That's pretty good. When the sport is in the title, more impressions, but way less views. It just says, like, basketball or, like, soccer, I guess. You need to be a little more specific.
I think it's because when you say that, it's like, oh, this is so small of a player or team that you have no option but to use the sport title. So, like, come on.
It is true. Because when you do the league, the impressions are down, but the views are way up. And when when we've done the team or the country, impressions are up and views are up. So you need to be a little more specific. Is the learnings from titling, thumbnailing. That was the gist of it. That's on this sheet because then we did do first topic, but I don't have that on here. It was good. It's good to do that stuff and use what you can, but not change the content drastically for that stuff.
Cool. While you were speaking, that made me think of when I went to the YouTube conference last week, and one of the things that they said, not related to things you missed, but something sparked this thought. They said that live streams on YouTube are the last unsaturated market on YouTube, so you're going to stand out more there than you will other places.
It's because no one uses YouTube for that.
Yeah.
They use Twitch and other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just because they have failed in that space.
No, but yes, but I think, like, my takeaway there is they're not going to really control the algorithm, these people. But if that's their internal point of view, then that's where they're going to focus, like, improving and maybe bump you way more than you should when you go live.
You do get bumped if you're live for more than 20 minutes. You see like a crazy bump, but yeah, I think that's more because it's not the premier destination for live streaming, and they want to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a rule. Have you ever heard that in some baseball scouting? Maybe it's from a movie, or maybe one team said it. Like they were like, "You're like, give me a comp for this minor leaguer," but their rule is you cannot comp Hall of Famer.
Mm. So what's your implication?
That I want to remove MrBeast and people that have fucking 100 million subscribers from our brains and stop comparing us.
Yeah.
And individual creators that have just like one channel and that's all they have and they dedicate 7 days a week to this one channel.
Yeah.
Stop comparing us to that, because I'm like getting annoyed about like we're different and they're a unicorn.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
That makes sense. Do I do that?
No, I don't think you do. I think there's a lot. Well, maybe like you have in the past, but I think I've said that before. Like, that's different. Yeah. It's not really us. I think there's a lot of advice shows out there that are giving people and creators advice on how to be the 1% of successful YouTubers, which is not realistic or like there.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just try to make a living on YouTube? And that should be how you get advice. Mm-hmm. So I get kind of frustrated with those shows sometimes because I'm like, that's advice for fucking like 20 steps past what you could give people to like, hey, here's how you like average 20K and make 50 grand a year on that as a side channel, you know, like that's step one. So it's kind of annoys me sometimes.
That's fair. No, I think that's where, and like, it's exactly why kids want to be a YouTuber now. Like, that's the number one job set in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Not fireman or whatever. But yeah, it's like all eyes on the top echelon of people. But your comparison, I think, speaks volumes to what we're able to achieve on YouTube, because you don't have to be a Hall of Famer to like do well. Obviously that's true in baseball too, but you don't even have to be an MLB player on YouTube to like do well.
Yeah, if you have the right way to monetize and go about it and an engaged audience, for sure. But I feel like the advice really skips all those steps. And they just like shoot past that. Because even like if you listen to MrBeast's story, like he started way different.
Yeah. I think I told you this feedback too, because I went to 2 events last week and one of them felt like it was for old media companies looking to grow on YouTube because they haven't like tapped into that market yet. And I think that we're a little beyond that. And then the other outing felt like it was a little for creators that don't have that following that they can tap into yet and are looking to grow into that space. And like, how can I find something that works for me? And there was great takeaways from both of them, but a majority of the conversations at those 2 events was like, didn't necessarily fit this middle ground of where we are.
So if you have, now you're not going to have this if you're an individual creator, really, unless you have like a very savvy salesperson working for you on your team that sells. If you do a show 3 episodes a week and you sell one ad to DraftKings, SeatGeek, like how we do it
per episode.
Yeah, one ad per episode, 3 episodes a week. 50 guaranteed views an episode.
50K.
Oh, what did I say? I said 20. Let's do 20 because that's even more beginning. 20 guaranteed views. Now your audience needs to be really engaged, really supportive, and use the codes and engage and all that.
This is assuming you're good on the sales end.
I just double checking my numbers. I said that if you do 20K, you can get 50 grand. Exactly. I know my CPM rates at a $25 CPM and a 70% sell through, meaning you're not even selling every single ad. You're selling 70%. You could get 50 grand. Now that's more of like, hey, if you're miserable at your job, you think you can build a passionate audience about this topic you like and grow it to get 20K views on average 3 episodes a week. That's what you can earn. That is going to be very hard to do. You're going to need to use socials and all that, but that's more of like starting advice and giving like a realistic understanding. You would need a good salesperson.
And then just to stop the comments that say $25 CPM, the YouTube average is 7. He's not speaking about YouTube's programmatic CPM. He's talking about the direct sales, right?
Yeah, and 25 is low. We sell higher than that. 25 is
But
the lowest end of direct sales.
That's the direct sales from those 3 ads that you're putting in the video, not from YouTube.
Yeah, 1 ad per video.
Yeah, I was saying like 3 per week, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, if you want to do 1 episode a week and it's a long show that 40 minutes that you can fit 3 ads in, it's the same calculation.
Yeah.
So that's more of a starting point, I think, for people than like go be a millionaire.
That was good.
Yeah.
I should have asked, what would you give advice?
I'm happy that my math worked out there. I know what 20K views is worth.
You do. That was good.
You got to really sell though. If you don't have a salesperson that knows what they're doing, and you're just allowing these companies to come to you, and not like knowing the negotiation, they're gonna fucking like not give you what you're worth.
Do you think that it's harder though as an individual? Like you're saying 20K views. Do you think it's harder as an individual to have the like brand recognition for these? Like we have channels that average 20K views, but we also have other channels that like give our brand way more recognition and like leverage.
Mm-hmm. That's part of being like what we offer as being a company as well. Is like if you have something small that you don't know how to monetize yourself, or you want help editing or with graphics, or you want merch, like then you would, that's where those are the creators we want to join us. So yeah, we'll help you grow. We'll help you like bump everything up and put you part of our ads sales. And at the start, you just get lumped into other deals, really. Like they're going to pay for talking baseball, but then we package in other shit with them. And that's how we can monetize the smaller shows as they're growing.
And the other thing to note there.
But we did at one point have shows like, when Courtney first joined us in 2020, like we had, and the breakdowns always did really well, and they're hard because they're only 1 ad and only 15 seconds. So it's like always been a battle, but we've had, and we do monetize Jomboy Jig Radio, which makes averages, I think 20 right now. It was higher at one point.
Yep.
It fluctuates a ton.
I think the difference, and this is fantastic advice. I do think the difference is, if you're a singular channel doing JJTV with 60,000 subscribers and you get 15 to 20,000 views per, DraftKings might not pick up the phone. Like
you'd have to find companies that want to work with you. But we did have companies before DraftKings that were like, we found Roosevelt's, we found Blitzball, and
and that's where you're saying the power of a good salesperson is going to be able to help.
Yeah.
Last question on your example. Is that a 20K floor that you like a guarantee? Yeah,
guaranteeing 20K views. So that needs to be your floor. Yeah. You have to hit it, unless then otherwise you would have to do like, make goods. You kind of need a big operation to do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a good convo.
But it's also a good convo for the general public that think you need to get so many views to be successful. Like people, even inside these walls, sometimes people scoff at shows that only have, 30K views. And I'm like, we sell that. That's good. Obviously, we want every show to have more.
We sell 10K floor.
I think we kind of stopped doing that.
Update.
I think with that, you get packaged in as like,
cool.
You get like 10 of them.
But yeah, like your example, 50,000 a year on a 20K floor is.
That's all I was trying to do when I started the company by myself. Make 60 grand a year. That was my dream.
Yeah. That's cool. before we get too far into the episode, I want to hit on the board meeting. How did it go yesterday?
Really well. Courtney had an awesome presentation. She a lot of that is board meetings are like in the presentation, good info, bad info, but also like, digestible updates. And yeah, I mean, where the company was 6 months ago when we were kind of like, the way I explain it, and I'll share this, I guess. I'm trying to teeter on what is, I don't know. I'm always bad at that because I always overshare. Basically, the year was really hard, and a lot of it was our own doing and just like growing pains of our own. But if you break it down into the last 12 months or so, or even longer than that, maybe 18 months, we hired a CEO. During that period, Courtney was on maternity leave, and I stepped back from that and wasn't really like the day-to-day. We realized we needed to change, that we weren't really on the same page, didn't have the same vision, so we made a change. And when we did that, so now we're kind of like, and we hired like crazy in that point. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of messy, like internally, the organization, the management structure was like non-existent, really. So when we made the change, me, Courtney, and Jake, we had to spend a couple months detaching people from the company that weren't employees. When you start a small company, you have a lot of people that are freelance, like freelance or like contract workers or helpers. We've gone through like 2 agencies and lawyers and PR reps, and we had all these different contract places that helped us, and they really, really helped us grow up into that point. So I thank them very much for that, and they were like needed, but it came to a point where we were like, this is too much. Too many people are not living in the walls day to day and understanding the day to day of the company, but representing us or like offering us help and being paid for it. So we spent, Courtney had to spend like, a while, like detaching all of those. So again, that's effort being spent like outside the walls of the company, cleaning up kind of the perimeter of it. And then we had the bank crisis hit, and now the media spend is going to be way down in August. And I was going on paternity, not in August, in April, May, June, right? Yeah. That was, I was going on paternity soon. The fucking bank crisis thing scared the shit out of us because we lost all our money for a day or something like that right before Team Baggage played Pinstripe.
I don't know if people know that, but yeah.
Yeah. Impromptu board meeting. Every dollar's lost. It wasn't every dollar, but it was a good chunk. Okay, let's go play blitzball. Joe's check swing walk-off. Tough time. Tough 2 hours. That scared the shit out of us. We made the change to say, I'm out. I'll do content. Court, you do business. You do the business side of the company. We really need someone like fucking working on this. So we spent 3 months. I said, the content that makes money, I'm going to be head down doing that. Courtney was replanning the business. We had to do the riff. That sucked. We had to get in line and get back to profitability because we were in like growth phase of a young company. And okay, so now that's 3 more months where the focus isn't really on inside these walls management. And I'm not excusing it. Like we should have been. That was our fault. We like succumbed to distractions or just needs. So then people have been listening. When August came around and summer kind of was coming to a close, all that was done, taken care of. And the company was in like a really good spot where we said, all right, let's fucking turn everything internal and build the management structure and build out our teams, build out our leadership team, have better communication. And that was a really like, habit changing because if you think about it, like for the last 9 months, there was no like, not policing, but there was no like management. And I think all of our employees were desperate for it. And like, there's no communication with management. And we were kind of like, yeah, there hasn't. That's our bad. We started this company and then we got in all these different like entanglements. So we feel really good about that. And since then we've been like doing really well. And the conversations about 2024, the companies that are reaching out to us, some deals that like, even if they don't happen, the fact that they're people like these places are coming to us to partner or talk about what a partnership work, we are like fucking so excited about 2024 and the possibilities. And it might really be like a speed ramp for the company and some of the stuff that we're able to do and put together. So, and we've already like sold, like what we made in 2023 on revenue, we're like about to hit for 2024 because we were able to like schedule out JM baseball, schedule out warehouse games, get organized, and then pre-sell the whole year like as like upfronts. And so yeah, we're pumped. So Courtney shared all of that. Board's really excited. We're really excited. The diversification of like our partnership deals. We've talked about that on the show. Yeah, I'm like excited because I know we're going to get to the holidays. It's the end of the year right now, but I fucking love getting like starting the year and being like, all right, let's do it. Like spring training starts. We just like hit the ground running. So I'm very excited. And I think that sentiment is shared. It was like the happiest or like most like, all right, shit, let's go. Like board meeting, good shit. So
nice.
Kudos to Courtney and everyone. But would you echo those sentiments? Someone that's on the leadership team that has seen those periods and like the company, like, does that ring true to you?
I think so. I feel like, I mean, we use the car analogy a lot. Like, oh, we built this car and we have yet to like race it.
Yeah.
I feel like early 2023, we were saying that, oh, we have this car, we don't race it. Let's like, now's our year to race it. And I feel like at that time we were like, oh, wait a minute. We have these tires on, like,
yeah,
look at those tires.
It was like
why
Pimp
are we
My
not-
Ride. We built like a really good outs. It looked really good from the external. We didn't really work on the motor and the wiring.
Yeah. And so I feel like right now, everybody out there has a better understanding of what they're doing moving forward. And we're in a place now that we fixed the wiring. We put the good tires on that, yeah, like you said, maybe less flashy outside, but like now we're in a spot where January 2024 is going to start and we're basically press go and this car is going to like race around a track. No problem.
And that being said, even though all those like struggles and changes and shifts, the audience grew like crazy. The views grew like crazy. The revenue grew like crazy in 2023. So like the charts still went up. It was just harder. And there was like tougher periods. But yeah, so board meeting was good. Excited about it. Kind of want to do this warehouse tournament that's happening, and then I want to just fucking get to Christmas and start 2024.
Yeah, I feel the same. I want to start 2024 too, but then there's like, there's this big warehouse tournament this week, which is like the first step. Are you able to say anything else on that bank example that you gave or bank anecdote? Because I feel like the way you left it, people are going to have a lot of questions in the comments. Really, like, I think to clarify and patch some of the holes, it was out of our control. A bank that we had been working with had their struggles.
A lot of startups we're working with because
it
was whatever for whatever reason, and then it collapsed, and then with a buyout, it was a very big story when it happened back whenever that fucking was, March. Yeah, we were affected by that. Everyone was. Like, we talked around and everyone had, some of their money there. And we did.
And it's like insurance gets the money back?
No, the other guys like bought it out, right?
Oh, okay.
Or it wasn't a buyout. I don't know. I'm far removed from it now. Obviously, I follow it closer. But it was a little bit of a scary moment, but then we called around. Everyone was like, don't worry. And even if we did, it wasn't all of our money, but it was a decent amount of it. And it was just more eye-opening when we were like, well, how much is there? How much is here? And we were like trying to track all the paperwork, and it was like, who's the main person?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, no one. So that was kind of change it up.
Cool. All right, let's jump to some of the questions as can't really see, but how long have we been going?
I do not know.
About 40 minutes. So let's jump to some of these questions, and then maybe we play one of these games that I set up. 2 questions of a similar vein. Net129 said, how did you come up with the name Jomboy? Not sure if you've answered this before, which I think you have.
Yeah, it was a typo. My buddy phone would correct Jimmy to Jommy, and then Jake would say all these different like endings like Jomboy, Jomman, Jomalope, Jomalantern. And it was like a 2-week thing. In those 2 weeks, I had graduated college and I was applying for jobs, so I changed all my social medias to be an unrecognizable like moniker, and that was the flavor of the week nickname. No one ever actually called me it.
Yeah.
And then that was in like 2011, and then in 2017 it was still just all my socials when I started doing Talkin Yanks and stuff.
And then related to that, Sean asked, do you regret naming the company after yourself? Because any account that contains the name Jomboy has people thinking you are personally responsible for the post, opinion, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if regret is the word, but like we didn't know what would happen. Like we had to incorporate, and at the time when I got like the $25,000 investment to build Talkin Yanks, we really weren't thinking bigger than Talkin Yanks. Our end goal was to get a show on Yes Network. Like that was like our big like chase, and maybe do companion streams. That's what like I have the emails from 2017, December of 2017, talking about that when I got like, and we couldn't incorporate as Talkin Yanks because it was Yanks, and it left us, in case we ever did want to grow, because I was still doing like laughs from the past, music, movies, like so. I always wanted to grow, have other shit on it, but we didn't know how big at that time. So we needed to incorporate, and we went with Jomboy Media. So it was that was the decision at that point. And then as we kept going, like that was it. And then it became, when the breakdowns took off, Jomboy had like such good SEO because we're competing with a tiny town in Uzbekistan, and that's all, to the point where it's like, this is what people know us as, so that's what we got to do now. I think it is weird. It's probably not fun for. It is weird, or maybe not fun for Jake or Trev, all the other big players, but that's why I think we try to use JM as much as we can now, and make sure people say Jomboy Media. Yep. That was when we had at the point where we had too many people working on our behalf. They didn't even talk about us the way we talked about us sometimes, and so I in our handbook and our memos, like, dude, I am Jomboy. The company is Jomboy Media or JM. Please do not refer, because people would text me and I'd be like, I'm not doing that. And they're like, no, not you. I'm like, oh, God damn, this sucks. So yeah, it is confusing and annoying. I don't know. We can't course correct now because it's like, that's what we're known as.
Yeah. That's become my biggest pet peeve, is when I'm meeting with somebody and they only say Jomboy. It's like,
yeah,
that's not.
I hate it. But it's not really their fault.
No. Dalton asked, and not Dalton Feely, asked in the comments, what is the best way to get your name out there in the baseball world? Do you have any advice here? It seems like there's so many possibilities, but such little opportunities. How do I take an opportunity and seize it without selling out?
Without selling out. Man, be on Twitter. Respond to all the big players, not in a troll way, but in like a normal way. Like add value in your responses. Probably at this point pay for the check mark because then you're going to be a top reply. That stinks, but then you're going to, if you add value with your responses and you have the check, you're going to be at the top. That's what I did. I responded to everybody. That's what a lot of people do is respond to people that are in the baseball world that are having conversations, but don't just be a dickhead or don't just add nothing. Just don't just respond to respond. Like add value, add a stat, add a thought, be human. Don't be an internet person. That's a bad way to go about it. There's people that just like are the internet online, and that sucks. They just like say the same shit everyone else does or try to like get you upset. And then if people start following you on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok for your thoughts or what you have, then you grow it from there. But you're not going to be like, you have to start that small. You have to get people that want to just converse with you about the topic at hand. And then you grow, and they allow you to do more and more and more. I don't think you're going to be able to just be like, here's my our podcast, please listen. And then all your replies are just linking your podcast. No one's going to do that. You have to get a backing and like people that, oh, I like your stuff. Oh, I like the way you talk, things like that. So you just got to start as a dude who uses social media to talk to everyone in the baseball world and then grow from there. That would be my advice. Unless you have like very specific stuff. He did the warehouse stats or you want to work for a team or something, then you go to winter meetings and pass your resume around and just talk to people, I guess. But if you just want to do your own thing, you got to start really small. It's really nice to have a niche. Like baseball is a world where you can start. We've seen a lot of creators just like kind of build themselves up in the industry. Fuzzy, Foolish, Jolly, We Get Ice. So you can do it. It's not out of this realm. Baseball doesn't exist. Like a lot of people have done that.
Yeah. Hunter, I think this is a quick one, but he asked, related to using new platforms like Instagram Reels for breakdowns, are the audiences across platforms different, or is there ever a risk of catching a viewer on a platform that offers less return on the view? So I think that the thought here is like advertisers, they're not counting all of the Instagram Reel views without the ad read, right?
The ad read has to be in there. Yeah. For it to count. But we keep the ad read in there for the breakdowns because it's a 15-second ad read.
Yeah.
So it kind of pertains to the content and the format. Like Talkin Baseball, the regular episodes only count podcast apps, YouTube, and Facebook because that's where we put the full episodes of Talkin Baseball. If they wanted to do a social media campaign, we would sell that as a different package for an advertiser. But those don't count there. But for the breakdowns, because they're short form content and have a short ad read, it is read in full on the TikToks and Reels and stuff like that. So it would count towards it. But that's maybe the only piece of content we do that has that. I think because they're just, it works the way it is.
Yeah. Going to another question. Conifer Farms, they asked, what are the thoughts on a version of Guts in the warehouse?
It would be a lot. We would probably need to hire a production company and change and build and all that. So it would be very fun, but I don't think the warehouse can. I don't think the warehouse could handle that many days being under construction. We film in it every week.
Yeah,
and that would probably shut it down for 2 weeks minimum to build like shit like that. So probably not. But I want to do versions of games like that. I was talking about that the other day, like mini games and little competitions. Like putting an aggro crag or like all the harness jump things. I don't think we're ever going to do that. I don't think people want to watch us in harnesses jumping around.
Yeah, that's fair. It is nice that the loft is up there. Just jump right down.
I mean, we were watching that German game show And Jack and I saw an event that we were like, this is so funny. They dropped like a paper butterfly. And then they had a 10-foot stick with a net on the other end, and they had to catch it. And when we get a scissor lift, we can do shit like that. Do it from the loft, but you always do it from the scissor lift in the middle of the floor.
The middle is better because the loft is up against the wall.
Yeah.
I want to jump to Landon's Goof and Gaff section of the show.
Wow. LG&G.
He said, glad Disney was a good time. Claire is adorable.
Thank you. I agree.
Would you rather hit a hole-in-one at the Masters or hit a Grand Slam in the World Series? He gave context that there have been 33 hole-in-ones and 21 World Series Grand Slams.
It would have to... It would just... it would have to be meaningful. Like, I think it's pretty even. Like, if I hit a Grand Slam and my team was losing, I don't care. If I hit a hole-in-one, but I'm down 17 strokes. Actually, without meaning, I'd rather the hole-in-one.
I disagree, but go ahead.
If, like, it was in a losing effort, I would want the hole-in-one.
As much as the golf diehards might disagree, I think a hole-in-one is a lot more luck than a Grand Slam. So I would take...
Well, Grand Slam is happenstance. Your teammates need to be on base.
That's fair.
It's just a home run. But
hitting a home run is way harder than hitting a hole-in-one, I think.
I don't know.
For the average human, you're not going to hit the ball. Like, I'd rather have the ability
for the average
to
human.
hit a home run.
I think that'd be pretty... Because you can play golf your whole life and never hit one. I guess you could hit a baseball your whole life. But they were doing... There's a whole study on this, sports science, where, like, if pitchers throwing 80 miles per hour, like Bartolo Colon's home run, like, there is... And you swing as hard as you can, you just really need to catch it flush at the right angle once, and it will go. Like, they did a study, like, you don't need to have crazy power. You just need to be able to swing the bat. They did, like, the swing math on, like, and it wasn't, like, nuts. But it was like the easiest home run to hit was like an 80-mile-per-hour fastball with like a 70-mile-per-hour swing, line drive down the left field line, and like you could do it. But yeah, I mean, hole-in-one on like a par 3 would probably be easier, I guess, because you could like just fucking bump it and it go in. Depends the stadium too.
Yeah.
I don't think I could hit a home run, and I could hit a hole-in-one. So I guess hole-in-one's easier.
That's my thought process.
I got real close one time. A 7-iron.
Oh, yeah?
In college. Yeah. I could hit that. This is the only club I could hit because I hit it like a hockey stick.
Speaking of the bigger YouTubers, this person wasn't massive, but Calix is a UK YouTuber, and I think it was him, sat on a par 3 hole and like camped out until he hit a hole-in-one. It's pretty funny. Took him like 3 days.
Damn. Trick shots, hot in the street.
Okay, there are a few other questions, but I did want to play this game. So let's jump there, and then if we have time after, we'll wrap this up.
Time for a game. Let's play a game. Is this on? Is there anywhere I look?
No, you don't have to look, but get like a notepad out or something that you can
When does my
write.
interview show come out?
Oh, I sent it to the company that puts dynamic ads in.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you edit them?
I edited the first one with Jake.
It's not really editing, right? It's just...
Nah, but I did punch-ins.
Ooh. Was it good?
I thought so.
How are we going to release those?
My thought is Friday feelings, and you just go once we have all of them, and maybe we just kick it off in the new year before, like, if YouTube dies down that December week.
How many did we record? 8?
7.
Nice.
First 7 weeks.
And then you're going to do 7-week stretch? In that 7-week stretch, maybe I come up with a new interview format, and we binge record 7 more one day.
Yeah, and we just do, like, the Friday special.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm ready for the game.
All right, this is a game.
I need a notepad, you said?
Well, I mean, just pull up like a Google Doc or something. You just have to write 5 things in an order. So keep a list of the order. All right.
Lights went off.
Wow.
Can I use the Google Doc that we're using?
We're not moving enough?
We're being way too still in here.
You're looking at the thing. Get out of there.
All right, I'm out. Matty did a jumping jack. The lights came back on for those just listening.
Okay. So the game that I played was fun. It was at my sister's, and she had this game called Chronology. And it was basically Disney movies.
Yeah.
And you had to get a string of 10 in a row based on release date.
Yeah. I'd crush this.
I asked her if she had a sports version because it's her company's game.
Oh, I
and
don't know
was
if I'll
like,
be good at sports.
bring
But
the sports. They have a general one without the Disney movies. Like, it's just history.
I'd be good at movies and music years.
Disney movies?
No, I didn't watch that many Disney movies.
It was all Disney, this one. But
And
I
only
wanted
from 92 to 2016.
Yeah.
Within that range, I gotcha.
Yes. But I wanted to do this with breakdowns. I want to see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I picked 5 breakdowns from either the 2020 or 2021 season, and I want to see if you can put them in the correct order. And everybody play along. Comment. We'll reveal the answer at the end, but comment.
That's tough.
While you're going, and then post a comment, and then see how you did.
Okay. I have a visual memory sometimes when I try to do these things. So 20 and 21 is hard because we were in the Bronx office both years. If you included 2019 and 2022, I would have distinct
memories of making them.
Yeah, I made this in New Jersey down the shore, so that's 19. Okay. All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
First one, I'm just going to read you the title. Bench is clear after Castellanos flexes over pitcher.
Oh. Okay. I think he was on the Cubs then.
Okay.
Wait, I have to tell you now or I have to put it in order? Okay.
That's after this, say where you're putting them. Where would you put in relation? Clayton Kershaw waves off his coaches, then ends the 8th inning himself. Before or after the Castellanos one?
What? Okay. I thought you were going to give me all 5 and I put them in order.
I am. I mean, I'm going one by one. You just want me to tell you all 5?
No. I think Castellanos was when he was on the Cubs. Would they clear over him? And he got traded from the Tigers to the Cubs. So that would make it after the trade deadline. Clayton Kershaw waves off coaches, then ends the inning himself. That sounds like an early year breakdown. And Clayton Kershaw gets hurt a decent amount. So, I would say Kershaw came before. 20. When did Castellanos become a Cub? Where'd he go after the Cubs? Tigers, Cubs for one season? And then Phillies? Did he go somewhere in between?
Do you want me to tell you?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the master of the rules.
He did go somewhere in between. It's
the Reds.
Yeah, it's how I remember.
Oh, and he was on the Reds when that happened. Because the Reds were fighting everyone. With Puig and shit.
And Amir Garrett.
Yeah. I'll say Kershaw came before Castellanos.
Okay. I'm just gonna read you these, and then you keep your own list.
All right.
All right. The next one is Ohtani throws near Canna's head, and he doesn't enjoy it.
Okay.
You got it?
Well, Ohtani was hurt in 2020, right?
That shrug was genuine. Like, I have no idea.
Was he hurt in 2021? I remember that breakdown. I don't remember where I was when I made it, and neither of the other two. So they all feel like early season breakdowns. That feels like such a 2019 breakdown, but I'd say that's Ohtani. 2021 was when he won the MVP and he lost it to Judge. Then he won it again. I'd say that's 2021, early 2021.
Okay. So where does that land?
That lands the most recent of the three.
Okay. Next one is the Jays throw at Kiermaier because he stole their secrets.
Oh, that was an awesome breakdown. That's such a good one. That is 2021, like August of 2021 or September of 2021.
Okay.
I would guess. I don't know. I know that Rod Carew, first time he ever responded to me on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Keep paper out of baseball campaign. He was all for it.
Nice. All right, so that sounds like you're putting that fourth at this point?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, here's the last one. Ramon Laureano charges the Astros dugout.
Oh, it's 2020. It's like June or July of 2020.
Okay.
That was because that was after the scandal all happened. The first time they went to Oakland, and I was leaving the Bronx office, and I walked to my car, and then I saw it on my phone, and I literally stopped in the middle of the Bronx and walked back to the office and put it together in like next 3 hours and texted Katie like, sorry, I'm going to be late.
Okay. So your picture memory does come back a little bit. All right. So your order.
Well, Jay's throw at Kiermaier was when I lived in my new house in New Jersey. So that means it was 2021 after the trade deadline. I remember where I was when I read the Rod Carew tweet.
Okay. So your order is what?
Ramon Laureano charges is the first one. Then Clayton Kershaw. Then Castellanos. Then Kiermaier. Castellanos might be the after Kiermaier if like tensions were high and the Reds were good.
You're just missing Ohtani throwing near Canna's head.
That one I have early 2021. So that's third in my list.
Okay.
Laureano 1. Kershaw 2. Ohtani 3. And then I don't know. And then Castellanos 4. Blue Jays 5.
Okay. You did pretty well. Everybody else press send on your comment, and then you could go edit it if you want to leave an opinion. You did pretty well. Laureano was first, August 9th of 2020.
And that was early in the year because it started in July.
Yeah. Kershaw, you put in the right spot, but that was October 2nd of 2020. So later, I think, than you were thinking.
As new as 2020.
Yeah. Third was Castellanos. So that this was your mistake in flipping those two.
Shouldn't have flipped them.
April 3rd. It's like the first weekend of the year.
I thought it was early. Part of me thought it was really early because it was like weird.
Yeah. And then Ohtani was May of 2021.
So I had early 2021.
Yeah, the
correct.
thoughts were all right. And then the Jays was September of 2021, which you said it was August or
of
September.
2021. Yeah. All right. Good enough.
It's pretty good.
I don't remember like three of those. Laureano 1 and Kiermaier 1 I remember because those were big. Which has the most views?
I don't know.
Laureano has to have the most views.
I tried to pick all from 2020 and 2021 that had over 1 million views. So
I would do like kind of anything on Kiermaier or Kershaw at that time because I would zoom in on his mouth and I thought it was funny. So if I had a Kershaw moment, I would be like, let's do it. I'm going to zoom in on his mouth.
Yeah.
Yep. I opened that video all the way zoomed in on his mouth.
That's funny.
Like,
I thought it was a black screen.
Yeah, no, it was way in his mouth. It was a gag I did. And people would comment like, why do you always do that? Just Kershaw, I would do it.
All right. Well, you did good.
Thank you.
I think maybe we wrap the episode there.
Episode's wrapped. Let's get up and leave.
All right.
Subscribe.